Do not grasp for victory too soon, or life will cut you down. Private victory comes before public victory. Do not try and cheat this principle. This is the thought that I'm going to be unpacking today. My name is J.R. Cook. If you haven't subscribed to me yet, make sure that you subscribe. That way you can continue getting these thoughts every day. So let's begin. Now, what do I mean by public victory is after private victory? Well, what I mean is there is a lot of practice that goes behind every championship win. All right? Any true champion has practiced countless hours before their moment of triumph and glory. And the same is true, I think, with any champion in business, any champion in any facet of life, any champion dad, any champion mom, anyone who's just extremely skilled and great at their given calling, any champion writer, any champion singer didn't get there overnight. That's why every great, I think, victory story has so many stories of failure before. You know, they try again. And in trying, there's failing. And after getting up enough times of failing and getting better and better and better and realizing that we have to get better, were they finally good enough to succeed? And this has been true in my life. I remember when I was young, I try and always take on more than I could handle. I don't know if that's just a thing with young men or not, but it definitely was with me. I thought that I was just great. I thought that I was just intrinsically gifted and great, which I have some gifts. I have some talents. I think it's important to know what you're good at, and it's also important to know what you're not so good at. But what I didn't realize was that there are certain skills that I need to develop within myself in order to be at a world-class level. Because I just thought that I could compete at a world-class level, and a part of that might have been because I joined the Marines, and in the Marines they kind of instill that into you. You know, they want you to be extremely confident. They want you to feel like you can just march onto the battlefield and kill everyone. No one's as good as me. I am a United States Marine. That type of mentality. And I think that while that serves for certain purposes, it serves for an extreme level of self-confidence, it can also be harmful because sometimes confidence can lead to cockiness or overconfidence, I think that that's where I was. And I made a lot of mistakes because of that, because I didn't realize that, hey, I need to be consistently training. I need to consistently be getting better. And that's so important, all right? And so that's the meaning of today's thought, is to don't try and take on your 10-year goals today, all right? There's a logical path to getting to where you want to be. So, for example, I wrote a book 3 or 4 years ago called Stop Procrastinating, Start Living. And I did the process kind of backwards. I wrote the book and I just thought, hey, I wrote this great book. Everyone should buy it, all right? But I wasn't ready to write the book. I wasn't ready to publish the book because I didn't have a following. No one knew who I was. And so I grasped for victory way too soon, and I got cut down. The book did horribly. And I had so I wrote this book, and I wasn't prepared to even publish the book. I just thought, hey, I am intrinsically gifted at all of this stuff, right? And what ended up happening was I hired the wrong girl to edit it. The whole publishing process got toasted, right? The review process got toasted. Everything failed. It all fell through, and I didn't have an audience, all right? And so when the book went live on Amazon, and then I wasn't even wise enough to double check the final copy that got uploaded, all right? Because what ended up happening, because of I hired the wrong person, so let that be a lesson too. Don't hire the wrong person. But the book version that finally went live was horrible. It was horrible. I put too much trust in the wrong person, and if I would have just uploaded my first draft without any editing, it would have been better than the first draft that went live. And so I turned on all this advertising. You know, I started promoting it and all of this stuff because like I didn't have an audience just to say, hey, you know, I got this awesome book out. You guys should check out. I had to, you know, do manual ads. So I was running Facebook ads. I was running Google ads. I was running Amazon ads, and the book was bad. You couldn't even read it. And I started getting some negative reviews, and I'm like, well, what is the problem? They're talking about, you know, poor grammar and stuff. I was like, I'm pretty good with English. I'm like, what is the problem here? You know, I was like, people don't like my writing, you know, everybody, and it had never been a problem before. And so I bought the book, I downloaded it onto my Kindle, and then I read it, and yeah, I wouldn't have read it either. I'd leave myself a horrible review. And so I turned off all the advertising, and that book's just sitting there. And, you know, so it was like all this time wasted. I mean, I guess it wasn't wasted if I look at it the right way. You know, there's a lesson there. I definitely improved my skill at writing by writing that book. It was I guess it was my second book. And you know, and I learned a lot of skills along the way. And the main point behind it all is I grasped for victory too soon. I couldn't take it. I couldn't take the whole process that it took. I wanted the results. Yeah, I wanted money. I wanted a successful book out there. I wanted, you know, all of the good things that come with that. But I wasn't ready to produce the results. And so I tried to be bigger than I was. I tried to cheat the process, and life cut me down. And so that's the meaning of today. So if you got value from this message, make sure that you hit subscribe. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in tomorrow's chat.